So here on the whiteboard we have three polygons. Of course, all three polygons are irregular. They are irregular because in each of them all the sides are unequal. Also, because the sides in each polygon are unequal, it follows that the sizes of their interior angles are not all equal. Now I've gone ahead and I have marked all interior angles with a blue arc. So these are all our interior angles. So just before I demonstrate how we use a protractor to measure each interior angle, let us look at number of sides versus number of interior angles and number of vertices. Now, these are our sides, right? And these are our interior angles. Sides, interior angles, and so on, right? Now, what is a vertex? A vertex is the point, the point of the corner at which the interior angle is formed. So this is a vertex. That's another vertex. That's another vertex. And the word vertex is spelled like this. Now, this is one vertex. And if we count all in this quadrilateral, we say that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices. So the plural of vertex is vertices. So in the next segment, we will go into a demonstration of how we use a protractor to measure each interior angle. And of course, to ensure that there is clarity in the diagram that is used, I'll be using a red outline of the protractor instrument. So for the procedure in use of the protractor, firstly, the center point of the protractor must be centered on the vertex for the angle that is being measured. Now, this is the interior angle that we wish to measure. And these are the two sides of this figure. These are the two sides that form this angle. So since these are the two sides that form this interior angle, it simply means that after centering the protractor on the vertex for that interior angle, we may either line up the zero line of the protractor with this side or line up the zero line of the protractor with that side so that we can measure from here to here or in the other direction from here to there. Of course, in a circular motion because angles are measured circularly. Now, this dotted red line represents the zero line of the protractor. And so the zero line of the protractor in this case is being lined up with this side of the triangle. Now, because the zero line is lined up with this side of the triangle, we will begin from 0 on this side of the protractor going clockwise. So we'll begin with 0 and go through our increasing values until we get to this point. So there's a reason why your protractor instrument is normally transparent, so that when you get to this side, you can see exactly how that line lines up with the value on the protractor. And so we'll measure from 0 right here, going that way, and that will be the angle size for this interior angle. So in the next part of this, we will also learn how you can measure this same interior angle by lining up the 0 line of the protractor with the other side that forms this angle. So this interior angle may be measured this way or the other way that we will go into shortly. So just like in the previous case, since this is the interior angle that is being measured, our protractor must first be centered on this vertex, because this vertex belongs to this interior angle. So in this case, we are lining up the 0 line of the protractor with this other side. Now we must line up the 0 line of the protractor with the curved part of the protractor overlapping to the other side of the triangle, because we need to measure from this side to the other side that forms the angle. In other words, with the triangle being positioned, with the protractor being positioned here, we can measure from this side to that side. But if the protractor was in that other direction right here, we wouldn't be able to cover this region. That would be going outside of the triangle. So the protractor must be positioned so that when you measure, you go from one side of the angle to the other side of the angle. Okay, so with our 0 line lined up with this other side, we will read from 0 on this side of the protractor, and we will measure this direction. And when we get to this other side, we will read out the value that lines up with this side. And so, just like in the previous case, our reading for the size of this interior angle should be the same. So, to look at a second instance in which we can use our protractor is if I wish to measure this interior angle in the quadrilateral, then I can first, as we indicated before, center my protractor on the vertex of this interior angle and line up the 0 line of the protractor, which is being indicated by the dotted red line. The 0 line is being lined up with this side of the quadrilateral. So these are the two sides that form this interior angle. So it means that since the 0 line of the protractor is lined up with this side, we will be counting from 0 going this direction. So we go from 0 with the increasing numbers, and when we get to exactly this other side, we read off the value right there. And that would be the size of the angle. So to look at the second way in which the very same interior angle of the quadrilateral can be measured. This time, instead of lining up the protractor with this side of the interior angle, we now line up the protractor with the other side of the interior angle. So, as usual, we first center the protractor on the vertex of this interior angle. And since we want to measure from this side, we line up the zero line of the protractor with this side. And since the zero line is lined up with this side, we will go from 0 right here, and we will follow the increasing numbers until we find a number that lines up with the other side of this interior angle. And so the value that we read off here will be the same as the value we read off in the first instance of measuring this interior angle.